gotta go Bill Belichick, man. I don't care. So I was on vacation.
Let's do it.
I was on vacation, right?
He said, "Let's do it."
I was on vacation, right?
Yo.
I was
Yo,
on
this the only
vacation.
nigga that once they leave the home team, this nigga Records like, yo, he acts like
Bro.
these niggas is like straight. Never was around. Like he said, let's do it.
Nah. I'm saying
that's your man.
Nah, that is, of course, bro.
He's a legend. We're trying to save him. We're trying to save him, bro. We're trying to save him.
I just want to make sure.
We're trying to save him, bro. This is we're not trying to drag him out the mud. We're trying to save him. That's really big bro right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's Unc for life. Like, we trying to save Unc.
We gotta save him and Travis Hunter, but we'll talk about Travis.
Belichick's wifey owns a crib not too far from my house, man.
Say word. That's what we're about
to Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan. She bought a house over there off of Pleasant Street. I live.
You did a lot.
Pull up on.
Damn, you got the drop. You got the drop.
Hold on.
She also got one in the hood in Roxbury somewhere.
Yeah, let's get into it.
When y'all break the news off, pull this up.
Break the news. Like, there's a lot that's been going on with Billy and Billy and the shorty.
I don't know. I don't know too much about
the biggest story, the national story was because he has the book coming out. Bill got a book coming out, and he went on and he did an interview. And the interview, this is like there's two parts to this, because there's like what we saw in real time, and then what they tried to like basically paint it as after to like cover it up. So basically, Bill's doing the interview. I guess pre-interview, she's also his publicist, so she's in the building because she's working as like a professional member of his team. Yeah. So they're asking questions about the relationship, and she's not feeling it. So she's in the back, and basically there's a clip that went viral of them asking Bill about how they met, and then she shuts the whole shit down, because this was the second question about them. This was like they let the first one slide. Once the second one came through, she shut it down. That created some buzz, because they're like, oh, you're not allowed to talk about where they met. If they've talked about where they met before, but people think that
this part
basically
right
they met. People think that they might have met on some kind of like sugar daddy like website type of thing, where like that's what they think, because they're like, oh, you met on the plane, like you met on the plane, and like you sat next to Bill. But then how about this though? This is a side story. Her last boyfriend was 64, bro.
Nasty work.
She does this shit. She does this shit. She does this shit, bro. Her last, so Bill's 72. Bill's 72. Her last man was 64, bro. She's like 25, bro.
But how do we say? This is my whole, like, let's listen to this real quick, and then I just want to end it with one question.
Bill Belichick is speaking out after his girlfriend Jordan Hudson.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on.
She was tight.
Nah, see, I have a take on this. G, I actually have a take.
Oh, that's the book shit. Nah, I thought they were gonna show the part. They were gonna like.
So G, listen.
Hold on, Lopes, just look up CBS interview. It was a CBS interview.
No, I know that was it. I thought that was the viral clip right there. But
G, this shit that you just said, right? The shit you just said, right? So don't you? This is my personal take. I feel like if she was like,
about your private life, it's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else
by the way.
thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
The distress shirt.
That's not distress. That's deeper
It's
than
a topic
distress.
neither one of them is comfortable commenting on.
Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship.
It's not that.
An opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it.
They weren't supposed to talk about anything related to the relationship. That's what they said pre-interview.
So was
it
the
all
media?
about the book.
Oh, so they set him up.
It's supposed to be about the book. So then they asked him one question about the relationship before that question. They asked him something about it.
That's the media's fault then. That's the media's fault then.
He answered. And then the second follow-up question, they doubled down. And then Jordan in the back was like, we're not doing this. And then that was what went viral, and that what created it. But basically, they made a statement the next day where he said, like, everybody knows where we met. It wasn't about hiding where we met. We've already talked about that. He said the interview was supposed to be about the book, which
so
nobody gives a fuck about, by the way.
It was the hit
Nobody
piece.
cares about the
So it was a hit
book.
piece then.
Yo. Honestly, I didn't even know this was about a book, but go ahead. That's how nobody gets
that's the point. That's the point. Nobody cares about this book because we've all like this story is way like it's maybe like later on we got all this already. Like we've had so many pieces to this Brady Belichick. So like, you know, this era we had the roast, we had the whole thing with Kraft and Bill, like all this shit, and this is like this is the final thing before like he moves on to the college coaching. Like it's like they're just squeezing out like the last little bit of this story because honestly nobody really cares about this shit, to be honest.
So this is how I just wanted to wrap this segment up. How do you save Bill, man? Like how does this turn out for him? Like I feel like everyone's against him. Like no one is like taking his side, and that's just crazy.
There's another thing, Lopes. During this whole process of like this story going viral and like the things coming out, so I know you had this listed, but like they were gonna have the Hard Knocks was gonna do college, and they canceled it because of her, because she was having too many demands. But because of all these stories going viral, there's been like Instagram posts of like on these sites, you know, just like any site that does the news and the trending topics, and a person who's commented multiple times negatively about it is Steve Belichick's wife, which is his son's wife, as basically bashing her. So there's a family. I mean,
they're probably the same age.
They don't fuck with. Nah, she's way younger.
She's younger than his. That's nasty.
She's yo Lopes. He's 72. He's 72, bro.
So his
2001.
Lopes, I'm talking about these are like 40. These are like 40-year-olds.
They've been in 2001, my nigga.
So his daughter-in-law doesn't fuck with Jordan, and she's been posting on social media like without even. I mean, like she's not famous or anything, but like people know like. Her name's Jen. People know like that she's married to Steve Belichick, who's still like, you know, he's still in the coaching game too. So like she doesn't fuck with Jordan at all. So like there's it's not just a media created thing where it's like, oh, young shorty trying to steal.
That's how I feel like it's media created. And we're only talking about it because it's trending and because it's Bill.
Either.
But all right, let's wrap that up. Let's go into something else. Done with shenanigans for the day.